Nobody showed up, Donald. It's official. Donald Trump is losing it as the PGA tournament at his Doral Miami Golf Club is officially the worst attended PGA Tour stop in years and possibly in the entire history of the PGA, as Rick Riley, who covers sports and who's actually covered Donald Trump cheating in golf, writes, everything Donald Trump touches turns to SHI, you know what. Now, earlier in the week on Thursday, which was the first day of this Cadillac Championship PGA tournament that was set to take place in Doral at Donald Trump's golf club there, we took a look at what was going on at the 18th hole just to see how many people were in attendance. Now, we weren't seeing anybody throughout the golf course in other holes, but we figure let's take a look at the 18th hole because usually that would be the most crowded where all the players finish up their tournament. There was nobody there. And when I say not a single fan, I quite literally mean zero. No fans showed up to this PGA tournament, utterly humiliating Donald Trump as he returned to Florida and then is now pretending to negotiate with Iran when they're not calling him at all. More on that in a moment, because Donald Trump right now in his panic is pretending he doesn't even know there's a golf tournament in Doral, Miami, because it's that embarrassing. He goes, I don't even know. Is there a tournament? Is there not a tournament? I'm too busy dealing with the Iranians. They keep on calling me. They're not calling you, Donald. You are making this up. You lie about everything, and you have been humiliated because no one showed up to the thing you care about most, the golf tournament in Doral. Also, Donald Trump responsible for destroying the entire LIV Golf League, as Donald Trump promised a security umbrella to the Middle East and then did not deliver after all the quid pro quos they gave Donald Trump. Saudi Arabia said, we're shutting down the LIV Golf tournament because it's not an essential investment from the Saudi private investment from the PIF. We ain't doing that investment. So all of Donald Trump's golf buds are out of a job right now, or about to be out of a job, and they want to come back and run to play for the PGA. But the PGA is saying, you abandon us for the Saudis. And that LIV tournament at all the Trump golf courses, Trump was helping prop up that LIV golf tournament. So the PGA is saying, we don't want you in our league right now. You tried to screw us over. So now Donald Trump is trying to use the power of the presidency to force the PGA to bring back the LIV golfers, as Americans are suffering, psychologically tortured by this sick, vile, and disgusting regime of war criminals. This is what Donald Trump is focused on. So you see right here, our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, posted what the 18th hole looked like on day one. I've got photos of day two, by the way, as well. Same thing. Ron Filipkowski writes, the crowd at the main grandstand around the 18th green at Trump Doral, Miami today, with Ricky Fowler, Colin Morikawa, two of the biggest stars on the PGA Tour, absolutely empty. So some MAGA people didn't believe us. Like, in MeidasTouch, you don't like Donald Trump, so you're just saying that it's empty. So there were people watching on day two. So certain MAGA accounts then said, wow, MeidasTouch is actually telling the truth. Yeah, we always tell the truth. We always bring the receipts. We always bring the facts. Someone writes, did you see the PGA tournament, the Cadillac Championship at Trump Doral in Miami? I thought the MeidasTouch just found some shot of the 18th green seating was empty yesterday. So I watched round two today on the Golf Channel. There were 0 people on 16, 17, and 18. Wow. Seriously. But there was a gigantic 15-foot golden statue of Donald Trump. Just like Kim Jong-un has his golden statues, Donald Trump put a golden statue there. So I have photos just of day two. You can see right here. I mean, look, to be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14 people appear to be in the crowd. This other shot here, there may be 19 people in the crowd. And, all of the commenters who are watching this live are like, where are the crowds? Where are the people? They ain't there. So on Friday night, Donald Trump gave a speech at something called the Forum Club in Palm Beach. It's supposed to be a nonpartisan club for thought leaders. They speak there. The first person to speak was Jimmy Carter in the 1970s, and it prides itself on nonpartisan, high-level discourse and speeches and the exchange of ideas. Of course, Donald Trump ruined that, giving what I think was perhaps the most deranged speech yet by Donald Trump, and that's saying a lot. That was the speech I covered it last night, where Donald Trump's like, the president of Mexico, she's so pretty. And I said, oh, hello, you pretty woman. And she's like, oh, hey, Donald, hey, I'm like, dude, what the hell is this guy saying? Donald Trump's like, Robert E. Lee was so courageous in the Civil War. And he's like, you don't go up me hill, my mate. Don't go up me hill. It's like, okay, that's not a thing. You just made up Robert E. Lee lore that doesn't exist. Then Donald Trump's like, oh, I think we're pirates. America, we've turned our Navy into the pirates of the Caribbean. And so we just steal the Iranian cargo ships. I'm like, oh, yes, that's what you're doing. That's what Iran's calling you out for. It's pretty pathetic that the might and strength of the United States Navy is now being used for piracy. But yes, you called yourself a pirate. Any event, at that speech, Donald Trump was like, I hear I have a golf tournament taking place, but, I'm so busy negotiating with the Iranians that I don't know. I'm spending all this time on the phone with the Iranians. You're not on the phone. They're not calling you. They're not talking to you. You've made this up now for 6 weeks of just making up fake negotiations with them. It's really humiliating. As the German chancellor said, this is absolutely humiliating. And then because the German chancellor called you out, you're like, oh, wow, I'm a little baby, I'm Donald Trump. Then you moved 5,000 of our troops out of a joint Air Force base that the U.S. has in Germany. In any event, here's Donald Trump saying that he's on the phone with the Iranians so much, he doesn't even know that there's a tournament. Here, play this clip.
Beach. So you'll be all very happy. And, it's right now I own Doral, and right now we have a tournament. I'm so busy. And we have the big Cadillac Championship going on, all the great players, the PGA Tour. And they're there. And yesterday somebody came up, said, sir, the tournament is great. I said, what tournament are you talking about? I'm so busy with the Iranians trying to make a good deal, and we're not going to let that happen. But they've got to make a bad deal. But if they make a deal at all, because frankly, maybe we're better off not making a deal at all. Do you want to know the truth? Because we can't let this thing go on. Going on too long, but under the leadership of...
By the way, on Thursday, when nobody attended and he found out that nobody was there and it was officially the worst PGA event in the PGA history, as everything Donald Trump touches dies, he did the same thing in the Oval Office where he was like, yeah, I wish I could watch it. I'm just so busy right now talking to the Iranians. And then the reporter was like, well, what do you make of LIV? The fact that this Saudi-backed tournament, this LIV club, this LIV league that brought all these PGA players, and you were working with MBS to prop up LIV. They were doing all these quid pro quos at all of your golf courses. What do you make of them shutting down and basically kicking out all the players? And Donald Trump's like, well, I think that all the players should join together. All of the players should work together. Anyway, here's what he says. Here, play this clip.
Saudi Arabia is pulling the plug on LIV Golf. Once that tour is gone, do you think the PGA Tour should welcome the defectors back with open arms?
Well, I do. It's a great question. In fact, if I had time, I'd love to watch television today, because the PGA Tour is playing at Doral, the Cadillac Championship. And I said, who's winning? I don't get a chance. I can't even look at it.
Jordan Spieth was in the lead.
Who is?
Jordan Spieth.
Oh, that's good. He's good. Great guy. Good putter, to put it mildly, right? He's a very great guy. Chipper putter. No, it's they're at my tournament right now, the PGA. In 2 weeks, LIV is going to be at my course right here on the Potomac. No, I'd love to see LIV, but I do believe that all of the golfers should be playing, the great golfers should be playing against each other. I do believe, it's sort of, they were viewing something as a monopoly, but it's in a way, it should be the opposite of a monopoly. I want to see Rory playing Bryson DeChambeau. I want to see Big John Rahm playing Scotty, who's so great, right? Scotty Scheffler is great. And I want to see him play John Rahm and Bryson and all the different guys, they have great players on the LIV. But it's almost like people want to see that. That's why the Masters was so good, because you saw everybody together. Patrick Reed played great. You know, he's on LIV and he played great.
This episode of the MeidasTouch podcast is brought to you by AG1. Spring is one of those seasons where everything speeds up. More travel, more events, more late nights, and it's easy for your routine to fall apart. That's why I try to keep at least one thing consistent every single day, and for me, that's AG1. Whether I'm on the road, grabbing an early flight, or just dealing with a packed schedule, the travel packs make it incredibly easy to stay on track. AG1 is a daily health drink that's clinically shown to support gut health and fill in common nutrient gaps. It's got 75 plus ingredients, including 5 clinically studied probiotic strains, so it replaces the need for a multivitamin, probiotics, and a bunch of other supplements. And that's really the key. It simplifies everything. Most supplement routines are a mess. Pills, timing, schedules you can't keep up with. AG1 is just 1 scoop, 20 seconds, and you're done. It becomes that daily anchor, the habit you stick to even when everything else is chaotic, and you know that everything is very chaotic right now. I found it really helps keep my energy steady, especially during these busy stretches. It also supports immune health with antioxidants and functional mushrooms, and the probiotics help with digestion and gut health, especially when your routine is all over the place. For me, I treat AG1 like a non-negotiable ritual, not a supplement. It's just part of the day now. Whether I'm at home or on the move, it's become a major part of my daily routine. Go to drinkag1.com/Meidas to get an AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2 for free in your AG1 welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order. That's a $72 value. Yours free, only while supplies last. Go to drinkag1.com/Meidas. That's MEIDAS.
And Rick Riley, sports commentator, who wrote a book specifically addressing Donald Trump cheating in sports. Here's what Rick Riley says. He goes, "How's this for karma? Trump hitched his camel to the Saudis and LIV Golf. He hosted their dumbass tournaments on his courses. Then Trump bombed Iran, so Iran bombed Saudi infrastructure for being a U.S. ally, so the Saudis can't afford or just don't want to spend $6 billion for LIV and killed it. So much winning." And Rick Riley also says, "The Saudi royals are out, so who's ready to fund LIV now? For only $6 billion over 5 years, you can allow stars like Sergio Garcia, Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson to fly in G6s, play 3 days of golf a week and not worry about cuts. No TV execs to pamper because there are no TV deals. Who's in, everybody?" Of course, he's mocking it. And by the way, at this PGA tournament at Donald Trump's club, there were not a lot of stars playing there. Some of the top names in the PGA decided to skip the event. I mean, you had 5 of the top 15 players in the world just giving Donald Trump the middle finger at the Cadillac Championship at Trump National Doral. Rory McIlroy, Matt Fitzpatrick, Xander Schauffele, Robert McIntyre, Ludwig Aberg are all sitting out this week. They're like, nah, we're not going to play here. They knew that nobody was going to show up. And just, can I show you what state regime media is doing right now? So on state regime media, which calls itself Fox, they're trying to normalize all of this. So in between talking about, oh, Donald Trump is such a victim, White House Correspondents' Dinner, oh, can you believe it? Can you believe how courageous he is? So in between doing that whole shtick, they talk about golf. They're talking about golf courses, and Donald Trump says that he's going to help LIV merge with the PGA and get all those players back to the PGA. It's a really big initiative, Marsha. A really big initiative. This is what the American people want. Who watches this program in the United States of America as Americans are psychologically tortured by this disgusting fascist regime? And it's like, yeah, okay. He's doing the LIV thing. Very good, Donald. Good work. How pathetic. Anyway, here, play this clip.
The future of LIV Golf is in jeopardy as Saudi Arabia pulls funding for the Pro League after just 4 seasons. Fox News previously broke the news, Brett Baer did, that Saudi Arabia is pulling the funding for the Professional Golf League after 4 seasons. President Trump now says he thinks the PGA Tour will welcome the players back.
I do believe that all of the golfers should be playing, the great golfers should be playing against each other. There's something nice about all of the players playing together. Now they'll all be accepted by the tour. There's no question, because they're great.
Let's see. Among the golfers in limbo following LIV's announcement, Jon Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, who did not apply for reinstatement by the February deadline with the PGA Tour. We're going to see what happens. My sense is they already built in some type of suspension and fine, and then they go back to normal. You're not going to help anybody by holding a grudge. How do you feel?
What do you mean?
You're
not holding a grudge.
If you're PGA, by holding a grudge against the golfer.
Oh, they should totally hold a grudge.
Really?
Yeah, of course. They took the Saudis' money, and now they got to suffer the consequences when the Saudi pull out.
Yeah, but when it comes to sports, you're gonna always accept the ones who are really good.
This is true.
The best in the world. You're gonna accept them back, I'm sure.
Time heals all wounds.
By the way, I like that Rick Riley posted this AI image of that 15-foot gold statue of Donald Trump, except this time it's kicking a golf ball. And he posts the kicking of the golf ball because Donald Trump cheats when he plays the MeidasTouch network on numerous occasions. We've been the ones that caught Donald Trump cheating while playing golf. And we'd have people out there, we'd see him kick the golf ball, and he would take, when he was doing putts, he'd have like 20-foot putts that weren't going to go in, but he gave himself the putt, like as though it went in the hole, even though he was like 20 feet away. It's like, yeah, that's a gimme, I guess. And then he would not like where the ball would be positioned. And so he would just take it, and he would have his caddy put it in a better position on the green when it would be in the rough or it would be in a bunker. Like, dude is so freaking pathetic. But I like AOC's perspective of it all. She spoke to our team in Capitol Hill, our DC bureau. And she was like, you know what? Don't you kind of want this guy playing golf though? Like, just keep him away. And if he plays golf, the more he plays golf, the less he's in our faces. Here, play this clip.
One other quick question. Donald Trump, he's been playing a lot of golf while we're at war. Prices are going up. What do you make of Donald Trump's, I guess, work ethic, if you will?
You know, obviously it's awful that this guy's playing golf, but in a way, we're already seeing that some of the most important military decision makers in the country are trying to keep him out of consequential decisions. So in some ways, you kind of want this guy on a golf course more than you want him in the Oval Office. But that also calls into question the 25th Amendment, because if the determination is that Donald Trump cannot be trusted in the Situation Room and in unfolding scenarios, then he's not fit to be president.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
And as you know, Donald Trump continues to pretend that he wins golf championships at his clubs. Then he posts them like every other week. He's claiming he's winning a tournament. And then he posts 2025 Men's Senior Championship. We did it. We did it. And then disgustingly, really disgustingly, Donald Trump said how he wants to build all of these. He did AI videos of this, how he wants to build all of these golf courses in Gaza. So he wants to use the genocide and then build golf courses. Remember, he did that AI video of him and Netanyahu with their shirt off, and they were like dancing with it was a very weird video, right? Where it was like they were dancing with belly dancers and like golfing and drinking alcohol, and the belly dancers had beards and boobs. It was like very strange. Remember that video I'm talking about? I'm not making this up. It's some weird stuff. And then you had Jesse Waters say the following. Here, play this clip.
Later, and Jimmy with his teleprompter. The Trump Board of Peace already doing more than the UN. We're building golf clubs in Gaza. The only thing they'll be fighting over now is tee times.
A few other things about Donald Trump and golf courses, in addition to the fact that he cheats all the time. He buried his first wife at the Bedminster golf course so he can get tax benefits by saying that his golf course is a cemetery. That's what a lot of people were saying. But he buried her, and then the Daily Mail got the photos, and like all of the shrubs and grass was growing over it. That's like where his first wife was buried. Wow, it was so ghoulish that the kids would just let that happen. Oh, and then as we know, Donald Trump's covering up his cognitive and physical decline. He really can't cover it up because it's in our faces. But Donald Trump had his doctor, Sean Barbarella, say that Donald Trump's health is demonstrated by the fact that he wins all these golf tournaments, and that shows how healthy he is. He wins all these golf tournaments. I kid you not. Donald Trump's medical note from last year, by the way, I don't think he's had a physical in 2026. They just think that we're supposed to forget that he has. Don't report on those pesky annual physicals, right? Donald Trump just apparently hiding the annual physical, in my opinion, or not telling us about it. But on the April 2025 one, it's like, His health is demonstrated by, quote, frequent victories in golf events. Some weirdo stuff. Weird stuff, man. But Trump humiliated at his golf course. Good. No one showed up. Good. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching. New Meidas merch. Head to store.MeidasTouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.